I just really love that connection between somebody who's quite probably dead now, who threw their apple core out many decades ago, and then everybody else who rides or walks along here and curses the fact that they're treading in apples or getting apples all wrapped around their tires. I just think it's amazing. I love that. This is the Guelph to Goderich Trail. I was on here a couple of years ago. Just doing a short section today, heading to Blythe, where I'll be meeting my friend John and his wife Danielle. I think I may be a little bit late, so I'm pushing on, but I actually can't remember exactly what time I said I'd be there. For me, by my standards, yeah.
Andrew, that's I don't know if you've met Danielle before.
I don't think so.
I think
sorry, grubby gloves.
Under the road.
So, how far did you come up when you did it before?
Yeah, Goderich. Yeah, all the way. Goderich to the covered bridge.
Oh, you went the other way. That's
I went the other way.
So you know where you have to cross the highway, like you walk across the highway?
Yeah.
You go under it now.
Ah,
Which
cool.
is great
This
for
tunnel.
my 50-pound e-bike.
Yeah, that would be a pain.
So
What is it? What make is it? Oh. The good thing I've noticed so far is it's so shaded as well. You know, it's a nice day anyway today, but if it were a hotter day,
it's a good mix because of the wind. If you get wind or rain, you're in and out of coverage a lot.
Yeah,
I think the longest stretch between towns is like 14 or 20 kilometers.
Yeah.
20.
This was a really easy one when I rode it. I did about 130 kilometers of it, and it was very comfortable. That is tricky on the eyes at first, eh? Oh, that's lovely. So I'm back on the trail again, and this time I'm by myself. John rode with me from his campground back to the trailhead just to show me where it was, and then we said goodbye. He's gone back to the campground and I'm heading back east towards Walton, and it was wonderful being out and riding with John and Danielle. John's really strong, so a ride with John is a good workout for me. So going back, I'm taking it a lot more sedately. So there is a question that kind of arises from this, a very reasonable and understandable question, and that is if I enjoyed very much riding with John and Danielle today, why do I spend so much of my time riding solo? And well, a large part of that is purely practical. If I'm riding with someone else, I don't want to interrupt their ride, so I can send a drone up or throw a camera down at the side of the trail. I also get, if I'm riding by myself, I get to, you know, choose my pace, my route, the time I leave. I was feeling guilty this morning because I was a little bit late for them, and I get pretty anxious about being late for people. So if I'm riding by myself, then that's not a consideration. So the other reason why I like to ride by myself quite often, or most often, is I really enjoy the solitude and just the opportunity to get deep into my thoughts, even if my thoughts aren't really that deep. As you notice, if you watch my videos, I'm never ever listening to music or podcasts, which is ironic because I enjoy both things, but just not when I ride. When I'm out here, I kind of like it just being me and the trail and the peace and the quiet. To be really honest, riding with John is really easy. Not the pace. The pace is decidedly spicy, but the conversation is really easy. And quite often I don't have that level of comfort and level of ease in social settings. Either I'm tongue-tied, or more often I become overly verbose, trying to fill silences and then feeling a little bit about myself. And so being out on the trails by myself, it's kind of a release from that. Just me and the bike. And ironically, me and the bike and you lot. And I actually don't feel socially awkward about the interactions with you lot ever. Peaceful. I barely want to get started again because the noise of my bike on the gravel is going to disturb the peace. Okay, here is a real fun fact. I'm not going to claim it for myself because John told me this just today, but I have noticed many times in the past apples on the trail, or on various trails, not just this trail, on many trails I've noticed apples. And then John said, and it makes perfect sense, that this is from where people have thrown an apple core out of a train decades ago, when this was actually a railway line, and the core has landed by the side of the train tracks, and it's grown into a tree that's borne apples, and then they've been dropping on the trail and around for the last few decades. And this is the sort of thing that I find really cool, because unlike the Tour de France, there aren't going to be zones where people throw their apple cores out. So all these apples here from the apple trees in this small area are probably the result of one apple core that's been thrown out by one person. And I just really love that connection between somebody who's quite probably dead now, who threw their apple core out many decades ago, and then everybody else who rides or walks along here and curses the fact that they're treading in apples or getting apples all wrapped around their tyres. I just think it's amazing. I love that. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's maybe inspired you to hit a rail trail, or maybe even come to this one. You don't have to do the entire distance, it's about 150 kilometers, but there's lots of little portions that you can do that are really rewarding and really beautiful. If you have enjoyed it, as always, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you on the next ride.